Hello, everyone. This is the Meta 2 Aftershow. I am here with the amazing In Cat We Trust right here. I'm here as well, but it's not as special as this. What's going on over here? And I hope I'm doing the right side. If not, it's really embarrassing. So, how are you today?
I'm very tired. It's been a day, but I am okay. How are you?
You know, we're here. We're here. You know, we're doing the best we can.
Oh,
So let's get started. So, I mean, we were not here last week, so we missed a little bit. Hate that for us. That fire alarm been driving up, but we're not going to get into it. I will be changing that soon, so we just won't talk about it. We opened the show with a shirtless Trick Williams, so we're starting off right. He comes into the ring and he's still very upset that he's no longer the champion. He keeps pressing Ethan Page, like, leave him alone. Like, your time is up. Sorry. It's no more whooping that trick. It's all ego time. Okay. It's all ego time. And so he comes to the ring and he's all like, I'm gonna come get you, yada yada yada. I got some advice from people and they said I don't care. Cedric Alexander comes out and he's basically like, listen, you need to listen to me. You need to, just chill out a bit. Trick's like, no, I'm not chilling out. Then Ashante comes out and he's saying that Trick dropped the ball and that he's here to pick the ball up. And then Trick is like, he makes a little bit of a dig at like Hit Row. He's saying you couldn't even grab the ball if you had a team behind you, essentially. And obviously that struck a nerve. And then physical things happen. Toots happen. I mean, I still need a little bit more time to get invested in this. Obviously I'm rooting for Trick in this because I just am. What are your thoughts on this? Like, what's going on with this whole situation?
I thought it wasn't bad. I do think it was a bit odd, only because we really haven't seen much. Like, there was no type of really real interaction between Cedric Alexander and Trick before this, and so it's kind of weird. I think to kind of like you're like, oh, I mean, all right, this is new. And this is no shade to Cedric. I think he's fantastic, but it was kind of weird for me that you had somebody who's a former champion and his first, I guess, opponent outside of the championship match is Cedric, but we haven't seen Cedric. There was no indication that he might be a problem for Trick, something along the lines. And I think that's like the only real issue I had with it. Otherwise, it was good to see Cedric because we haven't seen him in a long time, and so hopefully Shawn Michaels can do a little bit better for him than he was when he was on other brands, whatever the case may be. It was also, I would say that, like I said, I know people like Trick and it's all, but like when he like took his glasses down and all, just he like took his glasses off, I guess, to put in the point about he was going to get his title back. I was like, so what we're going to do us a favor is put him back on because you mess with all that. You do too much. You like, you're supposed to be being serious about, I want my title back. You just seem to take the glasses off, like, don't be doing that. Like, who do you think you are? Who do you think you is? Okay, Cyclops. I don't know. What are you doing? And so I was a little slightly like, I was just like, all right, Trixie, and this is why you lost because what are we doing? Like, now I'm not taking you serious. Like, you think you're, I'm gonna get my man, please. I was like, you know what, Ethan, do what you gotta do. And like that, and like that at all. But that was just me being very picky because I don't know. I would think people with sunglasses and they do too much. I always just like, why? What are we doing here? What's going on? But otherwise, it wasn't a terrible segment. I just think it was a bit weird, only because we have not seen anything but two of them kind of leading up to what will happen a little bit later. So I was like, I mean, okay, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. But hopefully, again, this will bring some new life into Cedric and give Trick opponent. I guess give him an opponent since his loss as NXT champion.
Yeah, give him something to occupy him so he can have time to realize that he's never getting the title back from Ethan. I'm just so happy to say that, you know. Like literally the trenches. We were in the trenches, so I really just have to keep boasting about this. The next we have Josh Briggs versus Brooks Jensen, King. We're just so happy to see. Well, I'm happy. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to talk for you, but I'm very happy for Brooks Jensen to be back in a spotlight as he deserves to be. Way more than Josh Briggs. Way more than the Yeehaw Brigade. He's not a part of the Yeehaw Brigade anymore. He's his own man. But yeah, no, this match was brutal. The kendo sticks to the back, and Brooks even. I'm sorry, but one of the visuals of Brooks pointing at Booker and Vic and saying, I think he said something like count, and then he just started whacking Josh over and over. I mean, he was left with like marks across his back. It was like brutal. I mean, the match literally started with Josh putting Brooks through a table, the announce table specifically. They was fighting like they don't even like each other. Honestly, I was looking like this can't be the man that vouched for him to get his job back. Like y'all beating each other up. Like y'all have never broke bread. You never had a meal together. Never stopped at a gas station together. This is real beef. Seriously. But I did like it. I think they have really good chemistry with each other, whether it's like as a tag team or if it's like if they're going against each other. They just have really good chemistry. And I just really, really, really I was messing with it. I was really messing with it. And exactly what I said, because I said the last show we did, I said the person that Brooks was talking to behind that glass door that they weren't revealing was definitely Shawn Spears, because he was alluding to it throughout the night, saying, I need to talk to a lost soul. Nobody was seeming more lost in that locker room than Brooks Jensen. I'm sorry. He's off the rails, but that's okay because I support his rights and his wrongs, as I just said. And whatever he wants to do, I'm right there supporting it. But yeah, no, this was I really, really enjoyed this match. Like it was just so brutal, but unapologetically brutal. And ending with Shawn Spears helping Brooks, get those last chair shots. I mean, he was tearing that man up. And then I don't want to hear it because Josh is gonna come back. You know he's gonna come back next week, just complaining, upset. And I have no time for it. What are your thoughts on this and everything that went on with this match?
I thought this was a pretty good match, actually. It definitely did start with Josh being Brooks stood on announced table to choke slam, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is where we're going. Cool. I also thought there was like a really there was a moment where I think Josh kind of like sent Brooks into like the steps with like a Russian leg sweep, and I thought that was pretty a really cool spot. Um, and I think the crowd like cheered something that they had to kind of mute, and I was like, oh, all right, well here we are. I guess we go to CW, it's gonna be first or whatever. Uh, it's going on, but I thought this was definitely like a really I thought this was a really good like brawl between them. I felt like if anything, this was you know it definitely did seem like they weren't friends beforehand. Um, but I thought for what it was, they did work hard to sell like it was something really going on with them. I do think at moments Josh seemed a little bit more into the match, meaning just experience, if that makes sense. But I, I thought it was still really good. I am not a Shawn Spears fan, and so the more I have to keep seeing him, I'm like, I mean, all right, I guess if we're gonna okay, Shawn, if you're gonna be here on TV, like, and I mean, I guess you help him win. You help him get his time. But even with I feel like part of this is also because I do know Josh Briggs is supposed to be working Noah. I think so. He's supposed to be going to Japan. I believe so. I think he's supposed to go to Japan to work a tournament with Noah, the wrestling company Noah, which I'm a fan of them, by the way, as well. And so I guess this gives them a little bit more time. You know, I guess for Brooks to kind of build somewhat a little bit why Josh will be gone for the tournament. 'Cause I don't know how long he'll obviously be in that, but I do know he is supposed to be going to that. So we'll see. But otherwise, I did think this made Brooks look very like he can be a dangerous person if they do this right, if it's done right. So it wasn't bad. I thought it was fairly solid for it to like. I thought that they definitely fought like. I'm like, all right, well, this is how I want to flip other people in this kind of level. Like, there's me and Liv. That's what happened. And so, those vibes you got to be on. And so I was like, all right, I respect these kind of vibes. It's on site. I love it. But yeah, otherwise it was pretty good.
Yeah, no, definitely agree with that. So we had two segments. I believe it was two segments. We had Sol Ruka with the straight hair. I've never seen it with the straight hair. Girl, you was killing it. Yes. And Carmen Petrovic with Lash Legend and Jakara. They approached them. They were actually looking at some of Stephanie Vacor's work from the recent house show she did, I think in Mexico City. And I think they were just kind of scouting, getting ready, because you know what? Yeah, you do need to get ready. Y'all need to get ready for real. So that's a smart idea. Watch some videos. But it ended up with them saying whichever tag team, when they go against each other later on, which was a match that was made official throughout the night, they would then go against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire for the women's tag titles at the Great American Bash, which is next week. And you know what? I don't mind this duo of Sol Ruka and Carmen, but I just feel like they be throwing her with people a lot. So I'm just like, I need them to figure it out with her, because I just feel like they just toss her with people. She was tagging with Ariana Grace like 2 weeks ago. Now it's Sol Ruka. Before that, it was Natty. It's just like, what's going on? Is she just, you just pair her with someone weekly or something? I just want to know what's going on with her just as a solo person. That's just my thought process. And then we had the Rascals approaching Axiom and Nathan. And you know what, Nathan? And I was going to get at you, because why do you have a problem with Axiom doing speed when you was running here and there, just throwing yourself wherever you wanted to, trying to do all the solo stuff? Axiom wants to do something for himself, and now you have a problem? You spent all that time trying to convince him, why? We should be able to do it. Okay, so exactly. Y'all should be able to do stuff. And you wouldn't have to tell him, I got so much online abuse, so stop bothering him. It's you. You keep messing with him. And now you're going to get some more. Because now you didn't get on my nerves again. He can do whatever he wants. And you better cheer him on regardless. What were your thoughts on those segments?
I did like the first segment. I thought it wasn't bad. I do think I'm kind of with you there with Carmen. I don't know why they keep putting her with tags, and I don't know if it's because it's the idea that they don't think she can do it by herself. But if so, then I don't know. Maybe take her off TV for a bit. If that's the case, if it's really that, if you feel like she might need somebody with like some more chemistry, with somebody who might need a mouthpiece. While I really don't particularly like just throwing everybody in stables, I feel like that shouldn't always be the case. Either have somebody who can talk, be with her for a bit rather than, and like, this is not even she, because like I said, she was with Natty, and while Natty is fine and well, I will not personally say she's somebody I will take as a talker, meaning that she's somebody you listen, like, you right, Natty, like, you in it. Never felt that way listening to Natty promo ever, and so and this is no shade to her, it's just I've never felt that. And then you had her, with Ariana Grace, and that's funny, as I think Ariana Grace is, she's also not much of a talker just yet. She could be, but as of right now, that's not there. So now you pulling her up with Sol Ruka, who right now is babyface, but also not much of a talker. So it's like, well, what are you trying to get? What are you trying to get out of Carmen here? Is it that you're trying to push her so hard that you're putting her with people to see how she does? Or it's one of those, like, whatevs. I don't know. I just feel like they do need to decide what to do with her. And while I'm okay with tag teams, I'm not okay with somebody just kind of going between teams, because it's like, well, what is purpose? What is the story here? What's where we're going? But I guess we'll see. As far as Axiom and Nathan, yeah, I'm with you on that. Nathan, this is what you call what's good for the goose. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like don't be doing that. That's a really old saying. That. So if you don't know what that is, my bad. Okay, it's a very old saying. But point is simply this: how are you gonna get mad that he is doing what you doing? Like, it's one of those. Oh, it's good for me too. Okay, I see you, my guy. Like, that's the vibe that's going on. And I was like, Nathan, are we? Did you forget? Literally for the last couple of weeks, all you've been doing is being here, there, everywhere, and in between. And now that acting like, you know what? Sure. Now it's Pikachu surprise face. Now you're surprised. Now it's now you're shocked. I don't understand. I just want to understand the level of like, let's get this together. Let's be on the same page. We're gonna be like, if you're gonna do what I'm gonna do one and do one better. That's the vibe I feel. So if you're gonna play the game, let's play the game. Like this is how I am. And so I'm just like, Nathan, I need you to calm down because you didn't have this level of concern when you was doing this, that, and the third. Okay, across the street, down the road, whatever you was doing, you didn't care. Okay, and so you let Axiom do what he needs to do. Piss me off. But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Yes. And you know what? I got so wrapped up in how angry Nathan got me. I didn't speak about the fact that the Rascals challenged them to a 3-man tag, which would be the main event. And I'm happy. I'm really loving the amount of exposure and time that the Rascals are getting on NXT because I just think they're so great. Like, they are just so fun to watch. And obviously, when we go over the main event, we will reiterate that because they show why. They show you why every time. So the next match, another match that pissed me right off because there are so many people on this roster. Why would you have both of my faves fighting against each other? First and foremost, they gave Lexus King, I'm not even going to say it, but they gave him the Dante Chen entrance because that man didn't even get an entrance. And that really hurt my spirit. It really did. He has one of the best entrances in the roster. And you're going to just you're not going to have him get an entrance. It hurt me to my core. It really did. And then it was like a really short match. I'm like, oh my God, you didn't even give him an entrance. And then he literally, like, just Eddie hits the freaking, oh my God, implant DDT for the win. And I'm so happy. See, you know what? I love Eddie Thorpe. Please do not mistake this for me being upset that he won. But why did he have to win so quickly to make Lexus look how he did? Sure, okay, Lexus attacked him after and smashed his hand on the steel steps with his little, what do you call it? I forgot what you call it. My brain is having a fart.
What, his staff? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, his little coordination thingy. What is it? Is it a staff?
I think. Listen, it might not be that. I'm gonna guess. So this is what we're going with right now. It's staff. This is where we're going. I have my to confirm that. But yeah.
I don't even have a name, so I'm just gonna go with what you're saying because I don't even have a name for it. We'll just be calling it that thing. So he smashed his hand. So now I'm like, okay, now what? Now that's rude because you know he's a DJ. It's very nasty. And you know what, Lexus? I don't know whether to be upset or happy that they tried to give him something to not make him look completely terrible because they just had him lose in like a few seconds. I don't even think the match was like 2-3 minutes at the most. And you didn't even give him an entrance. Like, it's like, I wanted this for Eddie, but not at this cost. Not at this cost. This hurts my spirit. But I'm intrigued to see where this goes because I know next week Eddie gonna be like, I couldn't DJ, like I couldn't play Behind These Hazel Eyes by Kelly Clarkson. Like, I'm very upset. Like, I think he's gonna bring that up. And so I'm very hurt for Eddie, and I'm hurt for Lexus. What are your thoughts on this match and just everything that went on? Because I am sick.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't know why they were trying to build this thing for like it's been what, a month that they kind of been going a little bit back and forth to kind of then do all that, and this is what we get. And so I was definitely a little confused there. I'm with you. I always make the joke that if I ever go anywhere of any importance, that is my entrance. Somebody make it happen. I don't care what it is. It could be me like going to see something with my kids. I'm like, but first of all, let me just slide on in. You know, make sure I'm looking great. That's all. And so I'm with you there. He definitely should have had an entrance. When anybody don't get an entrance, I'm automatically like, oh, so you about to lose because like when they don't think you're important enough to get the entrance, that means you're losing. If you think about all the times you ever had like wrestlers back in the day who beat the jobbers, and I feel like there's a good chunk of wrestlers we love that started off that way when they got beat up in like 2 seconds, and they're like, oh. And when they became a bigger thing later on, when at first they were the big thing. I think about the Hardys every time how they literally was used to basically get beat up all the time. And so that's those vibes. Like they don't get it, you're just sitting there waiting to get your ass kicked. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. And so I definitely with you on that. With that being said, I think Lexus is cool, but I do like some Eddie. Eddie is my guy. And so I was very okay with this win. I don't like that the win came at a very like it's a very weird way to win to win this quickly. You basically, had Lexus try to do his coronation, but then he did his manifest. Eddie instead did the manifest destiny to win it, and so it's just like okay. And so he got his finger smashed, etc., etc. Personally, I do think that if I was Eddie, sure you might attack me, but if you think you're going to take me to the stair steps and take my fingers and I have to use it to work, how am I supposed to scratch your record? Now how am I supposed to do that? How am I going to blend in two songs? Okay, how can I blend with only one hand? What if I use the other hand to put the headphones on? Maybe that's not even an important part of DJing. I don't know. I'm not a DJ. But what if I wanted to use one hand to put it here to make sure the vibes are good, but also the other hand to scratch? Now I can't do that. Okay, I'm supposed to use the elbow. Is that what's supposed to happen? I'm supposed to be like this. Like, hi guys, what if I want to use the phone and this is my dominant hand? Now you're playing games. Now you're making it difficult for me. You do too many things. And so personally, Lexus should be ashamed of himself for that because, like, how dare you? We miss Eddie for months because of a raggedy somebody who wants to do nonsense. Mr. Sunglasses in the room, you know who you are. Okay, he the reason I didn't see my Eddie, and now you bring him back, and now he was just DJ like 2 weeks ago. He was ready, setting the vibe, setting the tone for a hot girl summer, and now look, now he got sad boy summer. It's sad. It's sad. It's terrible. So I don't really know how I feel about this match because I'm like, oh, this is. This is what we get, and I guess, I guess this is what we got. But, I am happy with Eddie getting one. I just thought it shouldn't have been in this way. I feel like there's ways to make Eddie look good, and this is not it. Now I feel like he must certainly win this. Otherwise, it's going to make Eddie, like, what's putting you coming back to this? You can't lose again. You can't have this happen. You got to win if you have this feud with them. But then, it's also like, okay, well, now Lexus King, what do you do? Struggles. But, yeah.
This is why they shouldn't have even been in the same. Like they shouldn't even made them go at it in the first place. Like I'm hurt, and this feels like a personal attack against us, and I don't like that. So we had a quick little segment backstage with Trick Williams still talking about what's going on, and Pete Dunne was kind of like alluding to something like he don't do a lot of talking. He don't do a lot of talking. You just gonna feel the energy, and I think Trick was feeling that energy. But Pete, he was gonna make himself heard later on. Well, we'll get to that. The next match we had was Oro Mensah versus Ashante that's 2 E's, Adonis. This was fun. I mean, it was a lot of. I feel like it was very much Oro was in control for majority of it. He was not playing. He's very upset. He's going up for his man's. Ethan did his man's wrong. So, he got to pop out for him. And he's been, and honestly, I'm really happy because I feel like me and you have been saying for so long that we wanted him to get like that spotlight to really just show how good of a competitor that he actually is. I mean, like those who watch, like, the NXT UK, they were aware of it, but I feel like he never really was getting that time in OG NXT to really just show how good he is. He only got sometimes to show it, but not often. But I feel like this is the most consistent weekly that we've gotten him to get that chance to really keep showing like what he provides. And so he wins the match with a wheel kick, I believe. And yeah, I just really liked it. In the end, obviously he's saying, oh, 1, 2, 3, because the whole thing with Ethan, but at the end of the day, that didn't count. It didn't count. And I'm being jumped on threads right now as we speak because I'm standing on that because it didn't count. and I will keep saying it didn't count. I don't see Oro winning at the end of this. Like, I don't see him beating Ethan for the title. No way. No way. But I think he's definitely going to have Ethan begging him to never fight with him again. He definitely is going to give Ethan that work for sure, but Ethan is going to come out on top. Like, I just don't see why he wouldn't. But I am glad that Oro's getting this time, though. And I think that they did have a really fun match, and I think it was great that he got to showcase it. And I think Ashante got to showcase a lot, too, I think, because he doesn't get a lot of time as well. You know, he's always kind of been that person behind another person, you know, a lot of times. So that was cool for him, and he's showing personality. I love the whole him after the fact in the back, and he's like, oh, I'm in pain, and then he has like the two girls holding him, and he walks and he just winks at the camera like yeah, it was all part of my plan, trying to get the chicks to hold me. So hopefully we get to see more and more of him getting that time, because I feel like he never gets that time. Two people who never get that time, so I'm excited for them. But what were your thoughts?
This wasn't bad, but I thought it was a bit quick, and it's one of those things of like, I don't get why the matches were so quick, because it could have really been something nice. But I did, for what we got. I didn't think it was bad. You know, I do think Adonis should have been focused on other things, because the fact that he was chatting up with Jakara, and it's like, now look what happens. Like, this is what happens when you do shenanigans. You can't be doing shenanigans like this when it's supposed to be. It's time for work, and it's time for play. This is time for work. You play after you win. That's the goal, and he didn't do that. And so, you know, before he even had a chance to do much, the fact that Oro Mensah basically did like did what he did, and I was like, all right. I did kind of side eye one of the comments on a commentary. I think when like Vic made a reference about the lollipop that Chikara had, and I think Booker T's comment was kind of like weird, and then they kind of like really quickly glossed over it, and I was like, I heard that. I don't know why that was a necessary comment, Booker T. Get that together. But yeah, it wasn't bad. It was very short. But I thought for the moment that they fought to get their little minutes that they had. They rushed it, obviously, because again they didn't have much time, but I thought they did well. I don't know what it's like. I do think it was the right call. I think for Oro Mensah, especially if you have him going after Ethan Page. But it's also like if you're trying to make, you know, Ashante look like a big deal at NXT, he can't lose a lot either. It's when it's again, it's like you kind of see why this is the right call, but it also doesn't help the other person in this regard because of who the competitors are. And so, but for what it wasn't terribly bad or anything. It's just what I thought was a bit short, and I definitely do think that him, you know, with fake injury to get people like getting girlies. I'm like, all right, like I'm gonna need some of you guys to be smart girlies. 2023, that'll be smart. If he seems fine getting back there, he is fine. Don't let somebody like, oh, I'm like, and here you go, fall into that nonsense. I was like, how do I fall for this? Don't play me like this. Like, don't no. In the year of Beyonce of 2024, how do you like how playing games? But it wasn't bad for what we got.
Indeed, agreed. Now we have the no quarter catch crew. I'm sorry, this is becoming so funny. I actually really love where this is going. I wondered where things would go with them after Ren Sinclair saw them loading Damon Kemp into the car. But now we see that she's literally blackmailing them to be in their group. And honestly, this is the most personality we've gotten out of her since she's shown up in NXT. And her with the whole "I saw what you did" sign, and then her messing with Miles Bourne, which I think Miles is probably my favorite person from No Quarter Catch Crew, because he has shown so, like, Miles, no pun intended, like his sense of humor and his quick-wittedness has really just like skyrocket and has gone miles from what he started with. and Charlie. I think this is really great for them because I feel like they've always been this serious group, and now they have like this funny, like, you know, more relatable side now that's coming out with them, and I think it was just so necessary. You know, again, because they took such a hit losing their kind of their spokesperson and just having to kind of like make it work on the fly, and they really have. Like, I'm really happy for them, and we already know that they're great in the ring. It was just what was missing was the character work, and now we're getting that up there, so it's just, I'm really happy. And I actually think the addition of Ren to the group is going to be really fun. Like, she's already proving to be fun. So moving from that, we go into the match. Carly Bright versus Ren Sinclair. Carly has I believe it's Kendall Gray with her. So that's someone who I really haven't seen a lot of, but she had a moment in the match as well. I feel like this match is really short, and it really wasn't really a lot about it. I think that Ren did this really crisp and really cool submission. I don't know the name of it, so I can't tell you, but I really did like it. And then they just did a lot of reversals throughout the match until Charlie kind of, you know, was able to put his arm on Ren, get her down, and make sure she gets that win because he doesn't want his secret about what he did to Damon Kemp to get out. And then also we had Kendall Gray doing a suplex on Miles Bourne. That was very cute. I liked that. That was fun to see. I think Miles is really, he's really come out of his shell. I'm sorry, I'm going to keep gushing about it because I'm just so happy from where he started to where he is now. I'm just really happy. So what were your thoughts on this?
This was definitely another short matchup. I'm with you there. I thought this again. I don't know why the match was so off in regards to time. But I agree. I do think this might help put some character behind an Porter Catch Crew because we did say, as good as like I thought Charlie is, I do think he was lacking something. I just wasn't sure. As maybe this will help put some more interest behind him. I do think with as like why it was a cool little thing, I guess, beforehand. I did think that Ren was too focused a little bit on what was going outside. Like it felt like she was more focused on certain things rather than the matchup. And I don't think this was Carly's best. I thought she could have been a bit better. I don't know if she just seemed a bit uncomfortable. And so, stuff happens though. But with that being said, I do agree here that I do think this might be good for them. Kind of gives them a little bit more of an insight into their character or something that's not just wrestling, especially since there's that weird period with like, Drew being there and then he wasn't there and then we found out, he was gone and it was just that weird period of what do we do with the team. And so if you added this element to it, I think this could very well be a good situation. If it's done right as well. But it wasn't bad. I just, I don't know. I just feel like they would look like there was a good chemistry there with them. But it wasn't a bad match for what we got.
Definitely agree with that. Yeah, it was very short. Like, it was a lot of short. I think the only matches that were truly long were the opening with Brooks and Jensen, the main event, and I feel like Trick and Cedric was pretty, not super long, but it was up there. So we have two segments. We have the young OG, Javon Evans. He pops up on Axiom and Nathan, and he's just like, hey, I don't have anything going on, and I know that you guys need a third partner. I get excited immediately because I already know, okay, this match is already, like, when you see the people you already see in the match between, like, the Rascals and then, like, Axiom and Nathan, you're already excited. You already know this is about to be something. Then you add in Javon Evans, it's like, oh, this is about to be something. So it really excited me. And then we also had Thea Hale having an interview with Kelly Kincaid and, basically just talking about her journey. They touched on her match with Tiffany from last year, which is crazy. Like, whoa, last year. Like, wow, time goes by. And just saying how much she's grown and then talking about the stuff with Ridge, girl, I can't be bothered. Oh, sometimes people make mistakes and there, you got to look for the good in them. Oh my God. How many times does someone need to learn the same lesson You keep busting your knee on the same stove, and then you wonder why you still got a bruise on that knee. I don't. I really don't know. But he also did get new T-shirts for Chase U, so definitely go, WWEshop.com, get those for sure. I definitely want. It looks nice. It was a nice shirt. I'm not gonna lie. And obviously, Duke was also really sad about his loss to Obafemi, but I mean, he put on a really awesome match, though. I feel like a lot of people sometimes really forget how good Duke Hudson truly is, and he has to just remind people occasionally. I love when he reminds people. It's great for me. So what were your thoughts on those segments?
Well, with regards to Gerard Evans, I thought that was nice. He also was in that match, with the title match, and so God gave him something else to do. So I was okay with that. I was like, all right, cool stuff. As for Thea Hill, it does seem crazy that it was like a long time ago. It does. I mean, it feels like a long time ago, but it also doesn't feel like it is. I feel like this time went by pretty fast. But Thea has come away, I guess, even with her shenanigans, even with her complaining, even with her doing nonsense, changing the whole vibe of Shishu because she didn't want to listen to why certain things was done the way they were done. I do think she came a long way. With that being said, I love the level of like, oh, you think you're being rock fan. Like, girl, stop. You know, Tiffany was Tiffany, but as cool as people think Tiffany is, and I admit she's gotten better than from when I first saw her. She ain't Roxanne. So I'm like, yeah, I understand confidence, but let's slow your roll, just tag. Let's slow it down. Let's not be Delulu on NXT. I didn't particularly like the level of delusion. But no, it wasn't bad segments. With that being said, again, it's kind of cool to see a person from like a year ago, and just kind of where they are from what they were a year ago, as far as whatever story, whether it's character, whether it's something that's gotten better. I do think Thea is more in tune with her character now, maybe, than she was in the beginning, where she was just kind of being the hype girl for Chishu. But there was a second.
I definitely agree. She definitely come a long way. She just needs to get that mental to come too, because girl, you keep getting bamboozled by the same stuff, and I really can't. I can't do it much longer. We now have Trick Williams versus Cedric Alexandra. Jesus, Alexander, pray for me. I mean, I think this was a fun, nice back and forth. I don't think it was as short as the two previous matches, but it really wasn't that long either. Yeah, I think this is just to kind of keep Trick looking good, and I mean, I don't know what that means for Cedric Alexander. I mean, he just came here and he's just piling on, losses. I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to understand it. I really am. And it's not like, even like they just had, so I'm just a little confused because literally I feel like it was like 2 weeks ago they just had Cedric and they just had Ashante come, and they're already just taking losses right away. I just don't understand what's the point of making a big deal of saying, oh, we got these new talent, we just signed new deals, they're here to lose. Like, what's going on here? Like, I don't know. But I do think it was a cute short match. I think the sole purpose was to, keep Trick looking strong, good after, losing the title, of course, as you should. He's one of their biggest stars, like, duh. But then Pete Dunne attacked him afterwards, and I'm just trying to figure out what is going on with Pete. He's having such a metamorphosis right now where he's just basically like, I'm not really doing too much talking, I'm smacking people, period. And you know what? I'm okay with that, because they've been playing on his name a little too long. And now I need him to pop out. But also, I hate this for Trick. It's not that I hate Trick. I don't dislike Trick. I don't want to see him getting beat up all the time. I need to understand Pete's reasoning behind attacking Trick. I need to understand it, because I still don't. Maybe it's like one of those things where he's just like, he's getting all these opportunities. Like, I'm trying to figure out, but Pete doesn't talk that much. So what am I supposed to know? What were your thoughts on the match? What were your thoughts on the segment beforehand?
Yeah. So the match was pretty. Yeah, the match was pretty good. It was a bit short, but it wasn't bad. With Pete kind of, I guess questioning Trick, I'm like, okay, is this what we're doing? I love me some Pete Dunne. I'm a huge Pete Dunne fan. Even when they gave him that Butch name that they gave him, I was a fan. Pete Dunne is my guy. And so I was personally okay with his actions. I do think that it was kind of weird, as you said, because Cedric did start off really good, but it felt like it implied that Trick was supposed to be stronger or more quicker than him, and so it felt like Cedric got overwhelmed pretty quickly. With that being said, I kind of agree with the River thing. Like, yeah, Trick was the former champion, so you don't want to let him look bad. But if you bring in Cedric back to give him some grace from being kind of off TV for as long as he was, but also for some of the not so. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. If you're trying to give him like a break, like a new fresh start, having him lose his first match back is super wild, in my opinion. With that being said, it wasn't terrible. Trick did get the win, and I thought even as with my thoughts about Cedric, this is kind of a weird thing in regards to he just got back. I do think this was the right call for having Trick win. Uh, with that being said, he did try to show him some respect afterwards, but then that's when Pete Dunne beat him up. And again, I can't necessarily say that I can't necessarily say that he's wrong only because I am a Pete Dunne fan and I feel like I'm probably gonna also cheer his wrong. Sorry guys. I love Pete Dunne. And so I'm probably gonna be like, you know what, whatever it is, you're right. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine, you're right. I did want to bring up because just a happy belated to my guy Shawn Michaels. But I didn't appreciate the level of disrespect. I was like, first of all, I'm gonna need you to take those tones down just a tad. Take the tones down a tad. Like Rock said, I like you and all. I do. You good people, cool people. You're a great champion. But you gotta calm that down. You don't be yelling at Michael like that. Okay? Only I can do that. And the only reason why I can do this level of yapping is because sometimes he does shenanigans, and I have let Michael know. First of all, listen here, Michael. What's this? Let's get this together. But it's just a friendly, a friendly call out. Let's do better, Sean. Let you think real hard about what Katrina's gonna want. Just think in the verse. It's there. It's there. So you don't have to know my number. I don't have to do it. It's not that. Just think about it in the multiverse. Somehow you're gonna get what I'm saying. In all versions of me, I'm saying the same thing. So you think real hard. Find the version of me that you know personally and do better. But I'm the only person who could do that. You can't be just talking to him real crazy. I was like, whoa, Roxanne, you gotta calm this down. I get that. I can understand why you don't want me to have a little sit down. You're the champion. I get it. But also, we can do this nice. This could be a nice tone. And as far as Trick Williams demanding, you again calm it down. You lost, my guy. You lost. This level of this entitlement of or that. No. If I was Sean, you know what I'm doing? I would be like, you know what's happening? Blocked. Not calling me. They'll be knocking on the door. My doors. You better do how like APA. The APA had the door, but not they had the door, but no wall, and like it's gonna be like I don't hear nothing. Like when you would just walk into APA's office without knocking, and how they just completely ignored you. But see, he had an office, so you get ignored. They'll be knocking on the door, no nonsense. Like I don't hear nothing. Let's be respectful. You give him the week before you start complaining. You give Shawn Michaels let him have his birthday week. Let him have his Heartbreak Kid summer. Let him enjoy his birthday. Okay? And then you come in. You give him a week. You don't just come on in like this. It's rude. It's real rude. But yes, those are my thoughts.
Thank you. You said it because I was feeling the same way. I said, where's the decorum? Like, I know y'all not yelling at this man a day after his birthday. Y'all crazy. What? because it couldn't have been me. Because if I was in the room, this is not going down. I'm fighting with you both. Handicap match right now, and I'm winning. Trust. You are not going to disrespect him like that. No. That was crazy. Had him looking crazy, talking about go to commercial. Oh, no. You will never, ever, ever get the chance to disrespect him like that. Now, if I'm Sean, Trick, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't seeing that title till you ain't seeing it, period. Ain't no till, actually. You just ain't seeing it, period. You better hope somebody draft you. You better hope. So you could ever see some gold up in here. You want to be disrespectful. And Roxanne, guess what? Your next title match, a triple threat against Julia and Stephanie McCoy. Stop playing. Stop playing. You better get yourself together and don't ever raise your tone. If you got issues, you better bring it to Ava. Don't ever raise your tone to Sean. Anyways, the next segment we had was Kalani Jordan backstage watching a video of Tatum Paxley doing some weird stuff with a Barbie doll. That sounds really wrong the way I worded it, but she was just being weird. She was just being her weird self as she likes to do. And Kalani's just getting more and more weirded out. I don't understand why she isn't already at the 100% weirded out. Like, I would have already been there. I don't know why you're still somewhere at the 50-60% getting there. Like, she literally took a doll, took the head off in front of you. We should already be at 100% fear. Restraining order should be considered. I don't understand why we're getting to being weirded out. That's what just didn't make sense to me. Do you see Tatum taking the title from Kalani?
I mean, maybe, but also I'd rather not. Like, you know, I feel like it's one of those, like, I like Tatum, but I don't necessarily think I want Kalani to, I don't want her to lose necessarily so soon. And so I'm not sure. I feel like while I can see it, I'm not sure. And also, I'm with you. Why the hell does it take all that? Like, first of all, the moment you take out dolls, do anything, deuce. Want to hear me on? I will not be there. Like, Katrina, what? I know nothing or any of that. But yeah, don't be coming on here bringing up Liv Morgan. See, I'm trying to have a good Tuesday. Don't do that. Like, I just saw that comment. Like, don't do that. Don't just come and talk about from a woman's perspective, even though there's two women on the show. Okay, there's two of us. One, but two, don't be bringing her up here. It's not about Liv. I don't care what Liv does, and I know you didn't ask me. I'm gonna tell you anyway. I don't care what she's gonna do. I don't care. Okay, let's see what Liv do. Watch Monday Night Raw. Let's just see what she's gonna do. Okay. Mess me up. Just messing up my Tuesdays. Nonsense. Rhea Ripley. You mean? She shouldn't have beat her first.
Dominic and Liv are literally bamboozling Rhea. Like, they are putting on, get them their Emmys. Get them their Emmys because they're tricking this lady. I'm okay. They're tricking Liv. That was the best performance anyone could ever put on, because I know that her and Dominic were having backstage conversations that we're going to say this. Watch when SummerSlam comes. Watch. Rhea is not winning. Dominic is not going to let it happen because Liv is his new girlfriend. I'm telling you. Him, Finn, JD, Carlito, they all in on it. I can't wait. Terra Twins, you will crumble. I'm sorry. That's the last thing I'm going to say.
It's just that's rude. Like, I get you don't like leather pants, and that's fine and well, because sometimes you're doing a lot, and I understand that. But I will never turn on Rhea. Okay, Rhea can do everything wrong. I'm like, you right, Rhea. You are right. I would never turn on Rhea. As far as Liv with Emmy, stop. That fake crying. I wanted her to when she first of all this is your fault, Matthew, for bringing this up. It's your fault because now, but. This is your fault. You brought it up. Listen, like when she turned on the steps and she did her little flippy flip with her shorts. I was like, girl, turn right back around. What are you showing? What are you showing? Like, don't play with me like this. If you showing, I'm showing. Like, I'm about to sit there and do the same. I'm about to put on some shorts I don't even have. I'm gonna find some shorts. Um, I'm gonna find some and turn around knowing there is nothing to be showing back there. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Hey, okay. When people just fawn over me because of it, probably not, because it's ridiculous. Y'all letting pretty blondes mess you up. We'll just work with anybody else showing nothing, okay? You can't go from you can't no, we can't do that. So that was strike one. Then she did that like that supposed to be the crazy crying, like like you doing the crazy crying. You doing the crazy crying like you upset, like you angry. Dom said when he said, "Girl, please." You are literally the person that like you are the person that's on Snap. Don't play with me like this. You are clearly one of those women. Don't sit here and act like you were devastated about Dominic Mysterio. Okay? Of all the people. And if they're playing up this he's supposed to be Eddie Guerrero's son, even though we know he's not, but he is, you don't even gotta he ain't gonna be good to you even sis. Like let's gonna use women code, girl code here. Take Rhea's problems out of this, okay? Dominic is not gonna be good for you either. Like, are we playing? Are we serious? First, and then Dominic is dumb because she dead ass insulted him. She was like, before I didn't see why. Like that would have shut it down right there. Only trying to say I'm ugly, and that's it. We good. Now you know what? Now that's it. We're done. You're not gonna talk to me crazy and talking about oh I want to. No, you don't. You just said you didn't understand why I'm liked. Well, now you're not liked. Those vibes you on. So like, I want like if we have to have this drag on and I'm just seeing another person who clearly does not deserve to be a champion, be champion. And poor Rhea just sitting in the sidelines, sad, because I'm sad, Rhea. I'm sad for you. Okay, I feel like I'm actually a little more sad than you are. Rhea, get it together. I don't like this level of you playing around here and be with Dominic. No, be serious. Okay, sometimes you gotta throw them into the side. It's fine. It's fine. Just keep them to the side. Dominic will be fine. You don't even need him right now. But yeah, as far as Damian Priest, well, whatever. I do like Finn. I feel like Carlito truly is just like he's just there for the ride. Truly, I don't think Carlito is taking like any star to it. He's just there. I feel like he's truly there for the ride. He's just enjoying his time, as he should. Enjoy your time. I think he was there. I don't give two shits about JD. So whatever. You're also just a random person. Actually, if you want to switch out JD and put Carlito in his place, you could do that. I'm perfectly fine with that. Do that. So you want to switch him out? Switch him out. Okay. But I do like Finn, and I do feel like Finn was being slightly disrespected, and so I understand what he does. But Rhea, if this is supposed to be Liv's acting about how she's supposedly sad about Dom, it's not good. She's not acting well. It's literally what I hate on Lifetime when she goes Lifetime movies. I want to just put every woman on there. Come like, what is this? How do you guys film this and put this on TV for people to watch? That's the vibe I'm on. Liv is giving Lifetime, and I don't like Lifetime. Lifetime is never having me convinced. I'm more irritated the more I see a Lifetime movie, and I'm like, what the is this? Bleep, bleep, bleep. That's what I see Liv. I know I just went a whole rant that has nothing to do with NXT, but to be fair, it was said it was said and she is somebody who just sets me off just like a certain somebody else. I don't want to bring him up today.
You will summon him if you say it. So don't even.
No, I'm not gonna bring it up because nobody brought it up today, and so I'm gonna be a good laugh. And I say
you will summon him.
I'm gonna behave.
Literally how you summon him.
No, you coach Matthew. I just every time somebody mentioned Liv, I just had this literal Liv rant like yesterday. Because I was like, how dare you? Like you're messing up my day. Now I have to send you a thesis of how wrong you are. But here we are.
You needed to release that. You know what? Perspective. So back to NXT. We have Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson versus Sol Ruka and Karma Petrovic. The people who win this will be able to go against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire for the not the NXT Women's Championship. Pray for me for the women's tag titles. I'm sorry, just talking about the whole thing with Liv, and that just really has me frazzled. It's all over the place. So at the Great American Bash, they will be able to face them for the tag titles. a lot of, like, I would say in the beginning, it was definitely way more Sol Ruka and Carmen kind of having the control. Definitely in the beginning, like they definitely had that early control. But the bougie bully, Lash Legend, which I really do love that name, she kind of took it. Like, I think that they are really waiting for the right moment to pull the trigger on Lash. Like, we saw kind of like the beginning stages of it with the Iron Survivor match, and I feel like we get little taste testers here and there of it. But every time she gets that hot tag, it's over. Move, because she's about to start with her bougie bullion, and that she did. So she ended up getting the win, and they will be facing Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. Do you see them winning? I mean, I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, it's possible. I do think that, like, it's unfortunate because Lash Legend had that moment, where it was like, oh shit, and people kind of got put on notice that clearly she has some power to her, and then it kind of died down, and it's like that was the perfect opportunity to kind of push a bit. Even if you want to go, if you want to pull it all the way or push her all the way, at least a little bit to show like what she can do. Clearly, she's gotten better. I think she's gotten tons better since we first saw her in NXT. Um, do I think that I do think if anything they might give a really good match. I would be very surprised, honestly. This is not even shade to Jakara or Lash Legend. I just feel like, Alba and Isla have different styles but also similar styles in repertoire. They probably put them together. And they both could wrestle quite well. And this was one of those situations you kinda had in particular with Alba, who like was in all these weird stories where she was like losing her feuds. You had her win and you had them beat Bianca and Jade. I would just be very surprised to do all of that than to have it, where they lose that soon. I feel like they haven't had the titles that long, and so I'll be surprised. But I do think they might give them a good match. I do think that it's gonna probably be like, especially with Lash Legend, who I do think have a lot of like size to her, and the athleticism, and I think Jakara, um, not that I think Jakara is good. I do also think that what NXT should try to start doing is have them build up more as a tag team. And this is probably maybe the right way to do it now that they have this matchup. Have where we can see more matches of them as a tag. We don't see them tag as often as we should if they're supposed to be a tag team. And I think they should show that more of them, like them tagging together to make them look more like a unit. But we'll see how this goes. But match was definitely not bad. I thought, that they did have the chemistry there. I just think that they need to build them more as a team. But we'll see. I definitely do think this will be good, and I do think even with Soul Rocker, she definitely gave some momentum, as she always says, in a match. And so I'm like, did they also kind of not pull trigger with Soul Rocker? You kind of had her been gone. She had her matches. You had her have her title shot, and then she's back to like maybe doing tag matches. Like, is that what we're doing? And so I'm hoping that's not where they're going with this. Maybe they're really put some oomph behind Soul Rocker. But it was a good match. I was not like, I was like, okay, not bad at all. I enjoyed it, and so guess we'll see what happens at the Great American Bash.
So we got an announcement that Joe Hendry, sorry, I just feel compelled to clap. He will be having a live in-ring performance for the Great American Bash. I am loving the coverage and the time that they are giving him. I really am. I just think he's so fetch. And yes, I'm going to try and make fetch happen. Again, Gretchen Wieners, you didn't try hard enough, but I will take the baton. So yeah, I just think that Joe Hendry is so fetch, and I really am just happy that he's getting this time. What are your thoughts, and are you excited for the live performance? I am excited, but I think someone's gonna interrupt for sure, and I think he's gonna be kind of. I just feel like someone's gonna interrupt.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. Like, I want to know who was like, you know what, guys, you know what NXT need? We need you. Like, why? I knew people liked the song, and so I don't want to say too much negativity about it. But like, I think the part I really dislike about it is mostly just the part when he's clapping really hard, and you know, like he's wearing that tight shirt. So his shirt is real tight, and it's like feel like it's cutting off circulation in the arm, and then you're clapping real hard at that, so it makes it look even like somebody is taking what's called and squeezing the life out of your muscle, and you clapping this hard. Why? And then it doesn't help that you clapping and you smiling real weird to the camera. So it's like that. What's going on? If I saw somebody like it's like I feel like this is something that can happen on the New York City train. Like you're on a train and somebody's just being really weird. And they just start like clapping and singing a song and they looking at you real weird. And you're kind of like, let's not give eye contact. Maybe not. Let's like look on the floor and not looking. That's the vibes I get from that song. With that being said, I do know there's a lot of people who do like Joe Hendry, and this is nothing against him. I just really about his song. It's just I don't know. I'm not like, onto the song. But I'm guessing for those who like him and like his song, this would be a good time for them. This would be a good time. I'm probably gonna be laughing though, because I'm just like, why? Like, what? This is why? Like, is this what we're doing? Yeah. Otherwise, okay. I guess if this is what we get next week, or if we're getting for what you call it, then yeah, cool.
We then had Ethan Page, our NXT champion. We had him come out with a professional referee and have him say that pin was it didn't count. It didn't count because people don't understand. It just didn't count. They keep going on with this foolishness. It then happens to him again, which again, it didn't count. Ethan was a little bit distraught, and I know that right now he is on Twitter campaigning for them to take that down, and I hope that they do oblige because it didn't count. It did not count, and they should not be promoting such lies and injustices to the masses. Yeah. So, what were your thoughts on that segment?
Yeah. So have Oro Mensah like pinning him again, having him pin Ethan again. It's like, all right, but so what is like? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why are we having a situation where you're having him pin him without a match? Because now I feel like now you're really losing. Like if you're trying to make me feel, if this is supposed to make him seem like a threat to Ethan, I do not believe this. This must be the other version of me somewhere. This version of me right here in Earth, whatever Earth this is, if this is like Earth 666, whatever, if this is the Earth we're on currently, that I don't believe this. I'm like, at no point does this happen. I'm like, you know what? Ooh, that ornaments, I sure got a chance. No, I don't. I don't believe that at all. If anything, I'm just irritated that now we're wasting time doing this, and he's gonna lose. Sure, he might give us a good match, he might, but he's not winning. I would be if the level. This might be a situation. I'm like, you know what, Sean? Now this is one of those times when I said I won't yell at you on your birthday, so I'll wait. I'll wait a week. You know, I'll be respectful. I'll be respectful. But I'm gonna have the axe after here. Listen here, Michael. What's this? Don't do this. I don't want Oro Mensah as champion. I'm not sitting here like, ooh, I can't wait. I'm okay with Ethan Page being champion, even if it is a lot of ego. And I used to don't do well with egos. I don't, but I'm okay with Ethan Page being champion. But yeah, I mean, I guess if this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing, this is what we're getting. So it's supposed to be, a contract starting next week for the NXT Championship, and so I guess we're gonna see if it's gonna blow up before the match, like really blow up. But they can do all this all they want. If this is supposed to be the thing, then you better give a good ass match. There's better be a match that I'm like shocked of impression. I better be impressed. Or I better feel so. I'm like, all right, well, I guess the really random counting to 3 works in this regard. So as I am doing the main event, let's get right into the main event, which was, as stated earlier, the Rascals versus. Oh, I thought you were saying something. My bad. It was the Rascals versus Axiom, Nathan Frazier, and Javon Evans. And so this was literally a top tier type match. As we said earlier, the Rascals did confront Nathan and Axiom, challenging them to a six-man, which they agreed. And then Javon agreed to be the extra member. There was some kind of attitude going on, I thought, between Wesley and Javon. But also, Javon, he kind of showed him some attitude when he got into it. And he kind of taunted him, and then he like hit him with a drop kick, which I thought was like, Vic on commentary mentioned several times that, you know, Wesley and when they never lost NXT tag championship as MSK, because as we know, it was more of a situation that he got removed from WWE, and so he kind of lose the belt in that way. And so technically, they didn't lose, and so that makes sense. But I thought again, this was definitely a really really good match. So pacing was good. I thought there was a lot of flying happening, but everything was in sync. It wasn't too much, wasn't too over the top. Again, you had six guys who really can move, six guys who really can just be like on it, and I like that. I do think that obviously there is some chemistry between the Rascals because it also is they were together before, and so while we love West here at NXT, we also know this is where he came from. They came from TNA Impact, and so you know obviously the two members that was part of his group before, he's going to be really good with, even though he's fantastic at NXT. And I thought this was a good way of showing it. And it kind of actually felt more like this match kind of felt more like you think of TNA's X division of how the matches are with that. This kind of reminded me, this is like no shade to the NXT tag teams. It's just, you know, you expect certain things from TNA's tag matches when that division of what they give. Kind of almost like cruiserweight type level of like you expect quick, fast, and that's what this match was. And I thought it was, again, really, really well done. I thought that this was probably the longest match of the night because I felt like everything else was kind of under 5 minutes. This was a bit longer, but again, this was a really, really good match. This matchup would end, however, with the Rascals getting the win. Which I was like, okay. Trey wound up getting a Phoenix Splash done, but then Weston went basically broke the pinfall. But the Rascals did win this matchup against Javon, Nathan, and Axiom. And I'm guessing at some point we're probably going to get a rematch of this. But afterwards, they all did shake hands, and it was like kumbaya, nothing crazy. But again, best thing of the night, truly. Best thing of the night. Very, very well done. I was very excited about this. And again, it's crazy seeing the Rascals in NXT to like this level. It's like, oh, okay. Who would have thought? Look at you there, Sean. Look at you. Being a good opening door correctly, lad. Unlike others. But I'll leave it there. Thoughts?
Whew. This was, man, this TNA NXT crossover continues to deliver like so much. Like this is like it's just so good. Like this is such a good match. Like it was insane. Like all the times I thought it was gonna end, it did not end. It was like one person's here, another person's here. It was like everyone was everywhere, and I love that. I just love when it's just mass chaos. Like it literally just like ignites my spirit. And just seeing them together. Now, what I will say, Booker, you were really on one tonight. You were really, really on one tonight, Booker T. Because why do we start the match and the first thing you say is, which rascal is this? Why would you say that? Why would you say that? Like, sir, you already, like, please. But anyways, this was such a fun match. And I think the right people won. I was worried. I was like, who are they going to have win? Like, I don't know. I just was like, because, you know, obviously Axiom and Nathan are the chance. You don't want them to look stupid. but at the same time, it's like, you know, you don't want the Rascals to look stupid either. So it was just like, but I think in the end, the right people did win. Did I like Axiom being pinned? Absolutely not. No, 0 stars for that. But great match overall. And I'm just excited to see more of the Rascals on NXT and, you know, what comes next with them. And, you know, if, you know, they were to win the tag titles, I wouldn't be mad. Although I do hear about some other tag teams coming around. And if the tag teams that I hear are coming around, they got first dibs on any title. I don't care. Move out the way. And I'm dead serious. I'm not playing with nobody. Move out the way if what I am hearing is true. And you better just take them off your... I don't even want to have a match. I just want you to take it off your abdomen and lay the titles down and give it to them. But that's neither here nor there. So, yes, I really enjoyed this. And I can't wait for next week. I think NXT is always delivering. They're in such a great place right now, honestly.
Well, we have reached the end of our NXT Meta 2 Aftershow, NXT Aftershow. It was fun. And thank you, Shay, for leading majority of this. For girly, it was a day. It was a day for me. And also thank you, Matthew. I hope you took no. My semi-live rant is just certain people just set me off, and I'm like, oh, and here it comes. It just comes out like, you know, whatever. But no, thank you for commenting. But it set me off. Thank you. I actually appreciate you know, your comments. You usually are here pretty often now. I think we appreciate you and everybody else who pops in, whether old or new. But thank you again, as always, for watching us here at bodyslam.net. If you guys don't know, there is a GCW show either right after this or should be currently happening with Body Slam, so definitely go check that out. If you also want to support the girlies over here at Body Slam, definitely go check out what is it? Jesus, what is it called? It's something chats that they have slam chats. I think is that what the slam chats. So definitely support us in that way if you can. But Shay, tell everybody what's got going on and where they can find and follow you.
You can find me at Shay Sawyer on Twitch, where I be streaming mostly Dead by Daylight, but I will be branching out. You can also catch a new episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast every Monday on any platform where you can listen to a podcast. It's definitely on there. And in, I think, 2 weeks, I will be on Unpopular Review for the Challenge 40 new season. I'm excited because I love the challenge and I love to talk about reality TV. So definitely come say hello with me and my co-host as we discuss messiness.
As to me, you can catch me on Cat We Trust, the easy to do in every place but TikTok, Twitch, and Facebook. I think excuse me, TikTok. I think it's Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. But easy everywhere else. You catch me on Tuesdays as always with my girly girl, 20 twin Shay. As everybody's favorite duo, talk to you about NXT, and usually on Wednesdays, and this Wednesday is a double episode of Women of Wrestling with my other co-host Stephanie. Check me out there. Obviously, keep track of my channel so you can see what I am doing, and there is more stuff coming. Like I said, I've been a busy girly. Okay, mom duties, all duties has been busy, and so I've been slacking with a lot of stuff. But it's coming, guys. Promise. And if you guys go and see Deadpool Wolverine like I am, you know, tell me what you think, because I'm hyped. I'm hyped to see Wolverine, my guy. But we love you guys. We appreciate you guys, and we will catch you next